Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm the Education Coordinator at the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum. Today I'm excited to bring you our last episode of Make It Monday. This is our last week of our temporary closure due to COVID-19, and we are so excited to start welcoming you back to the museum next week on Monday, August 17th, so that you can come and explore the museum and take part in our different activities we have planned there. So with that, today we are going to be making farm animal tissue box covers, and this is a great thing to do whether you're headed back to school in person or you're doing virtual learning at home. A lot of times teachers will ask you to buy school supplies in the fall to get ready for school, and a lot of times, especially when I was growing up, one of those items that you needed to bring in was a tissue box. And so sometimes tissue boxes have nice fun patterns on them. Sometimes they have patterns on them that aren't very fun. And so this is just a fun way to decorate your tissue box, whether you're sending it to school or keeping it at home, so that it can be something that you really, really like to look at. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go through our supply list and go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you'll need is a Sharpie or any type of a black marker. You could use a washable marker, a permanent marker, it's really up to you. I would definitely encourage, if you're working with little ones, that you use those washable markers. You'll need a tissue box. Today I'm using a square tissue box, but you could use a different shape of tissue box if you'd like. The decorating might look a little bit different, but the concept is still the same. You'll need 2 different colors of construction paper is what I'm using today. I'm going to be making a pig example today, but you can really customize this to any farm animal that you enjoy at home. And so today I'm using a light pink and also a darker pink. You can see my 2 different pinks here when I hold them up together. If you're going to be making something like a cow, you can use white and black. If you're going to be making a chicken, you can use brown and white and a bunch of different colors, because there's a lot of different colors of chickens. But today, like I said, I'm using a pig for an example, so I've got my 2 different pinks. Next, you'll need a scissors. You'll need either glue or tape. Today I'm using a glue stick. You'll need some wiggle eyes, and this is an optional item. So if you don't have wiggle eyes at home, that's totally fine. And then the last thing is also another optional item. It is a pipe cleaner that is pink that we are going to be using as a tail. But if you don't have this, I'll talk about a different option later once we get to this step. So that's what you'll need. Let's go ahead and get started. The first step in this project is to do some pre-work ahead of time before you start getting to the fun part and gluing things together. And so I went ahead and took my tissue box and my marker, and I went ahead and traced each side of my tissue box and cut out a square to match in my light pink construction paper. And so I have 4 different sides cut out, and I also did a sheet on the top that has a hole in it, so that when you put it on the top, you can still access your tissues here in the center. That's a very important step. You want to be able to make sure that this is functional once you're done as well. And so after you get your sides cut out and the top cut out, you are all ready to go with the light pink color. The next thing that you'll do is start assembling some of the facial features. And so I already went ahead and pre-started a few of mine here. You can see that I have 2 ears that are glued to the back of my front or face side of my tissue box here. And so I cut these in triangles that are about 2 inches long, and then I cut a big triangle out of the light pink, and then I cut a slightly smaller triangle out of the dark pink, layered those together, glued them, and then attached them to the back side of my front or face panel that I have. And so this is just a fun way to add those cute ears in. The next thing that you'll do is add a nose. And so I have already pre-cut this oval out of my darker pink construction paper here. I'm going to go ahead and use my glue and glue that on my front face panel here, kind of towards the center. So you can see I've got that on here ready to go. Next, I will go ahead and take my black marker and add in some nostrils. So just 2 ovals that are about the same size. So you've got those nostrils on your nose ready to go. I am going to be done with my black marker, so I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side. The next thing that you want to add in are some wiggle eyes. And if you don't have wiggle eyes, that's totally fine. You can use your black marker and just draw on some eyes. It's totally perfect. Today I am using peel and stick wiggle eyes, which are a fun thing to use because then you don't have to glue the back of them. But if you don't have peel and stick ones, you can always just use glue and attach those as well. So I have the front of my tissue box cover ready to go. The last thing that we are going to do to kind of prep before we start gluing these sides onto our tissue box is make a tail. And so I'm using a pink pipe cleaner today to make my tail. But if you don't have a pink pipe cleaner, you can always just take this light pink construction paper again and cut out a tail shape and glue it on. That's totally fine. Since I have the pipe cleaner though, I'm going to go ahead and make this into a coil. And a super easy way to do this is to wrap it around something that is a circle or cylinder in shape. Good example is this black marker that we're using here. So once you have that wrapped around, you can see you have this cute little coil shape that is just going to be perfect for our pigtail here. So we're going to go ahead and get started by gluing everything to our tissue box. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and glue my front on first. And I found it easier to just glue right on the tissue box versus trying to glue on the paper, especially since you already have some of your things on here. It can be kind of hard to glue over the bumps with the wiggle eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue right on the box. I'm going to add in my first side here. I'm going to start with my face panel. So I've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and just move on to my side panels here. Again, I'm just going to take my glue stick, put a few swipes on, and attach that side. I'm going to go ahead and work on my other side here. Glue that down. Once you get past the prep part, this is super easy and fast. And then I have my 3 sides done. I'm going to go ahead and before I put my back side on, I am going to glue my pigtail on. I'm just going to go ahead and run glue all around here. Make sure there's a little extra glue here at the bottom for the pigtail to stick to, and then go ahead and put on my back panel. So now I've got all of my panels done here. You might need to do a little bit of adjustment with your tail to make sure that it's not pointing in any weird, funky directions, but I've already got that adjusted here. So you can see I've got my cute little tail, my cute face. The last thing to do is go ahead and glue your top on. And for this, I would say to go ahead and put the glue on your paper because you don't want to get a bunch of glue on the tissues that you want to be able to use later. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to this. And then glue that right on top. Okay, so you can see I've got all of my sides here covered except for the bottom because you can't see the bottom, so it's totally fine. So we've got everything ready to go and we have such a cute little tissue box cover here that is wonderful to look at and add some fun and pizzazz to your day. Now this is completely recyclable except for your wiggle eyes and your pig pipe cleaner tail. And so once you have emptied out your tissue box, you can go ahead and just take the wiggle eyes off, take the pipe cleaner off, and all the paper can get recycled right with the cardboard box that your tissues are in. So again, this has been another episode of Make It Monday with the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Sarah and I'm the education coordinator. I'm super bummed that this is our last Make It Monday, but I'm so excited to see you all back at the museum starting next week, August 17th. I hope to see you at the museum soon. Have a good rest of the week.